Hello everybody, how's it going? My name is Brian Locke and welcome to Making Monday. Making Monday? Pretty sure it's Making Monday. So every Monday we do a live stream on a different electronics project or Arduino project. We've been doing a lot of the LED Matrix recently, and today is no different. If you've seen my Twitter, I tweeted out what we'd be working on. So let me pull that up. It is a really cool project, and it is made by the same person who made the Mac lighting software that I used in the wedding lights project. So it's this ESP-P10 Tetris clock. So it's made out of an LED matrix, but it's a P10. It's a 16 by 32, I think. So as you can see here, it fetches the time from the NTP server, but it displays the time in these falling Tetris blocks, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, sorry, I have my window open because it's still kind of warm in Ireland, and I just heard a tractor go by or something. That's probably, I don't know. I'm a blow into the country. It's probably turf season, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so this isn't a library or anything. This is an example software that it's Tobias is the guy's name, wrote, and I was talking to him and I was saying that it would be a cool idea if we could make it a library. So rather than just display the time, let it display whatever, and like let the user sketch worry about it, and then let the library worry about displaying the time. So there's a couple of limitations of it at the moment. It only does numbers, and for the moment we'll stick with that limitation. And the other thing at the moment is it's kind of hard-coded to work with this resolution of a screen. We will probably be able to make changes to that, or we'll definitely be able to make changes to it. So what I'd like to do is get it up and running first, and then we'll start making it into a library. So for example, I think we should pass in a reference to 2DOM's library. So at the moment this sketch uses 2DOM's library, but if we passed in a reference to 2DOM's library, then you could, any board that supported 2DOM's library would work with this then. So like it would work with the ESP32 or do whatever. And yeah, basically, like say the logic for fetching the time, that should be in the sketch level, and then all that this is doing is you're saying, hey, I want you to draw 07:26 or whatever. Maybe you might need to have a special case for the time because you want the blinking thing in between. But like, wouldn't that make a pretty cool like subscriber counter? Or Michael was even saying on Twitter, wouldn't it be nice if it displayed the weather or whatever? So yeah, this is what we are going to work on, I think. So yeah, hey Gregor, how's it going? And Mike is going on holidays. Lucky you. Typical Irish begrudging, yeah, going on holidays. Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere this year. No, I don't think. Well, like we might go somewhere in Ireland, and I'll definitely take time off, but we don't have any plans to travel anywhere. Okay, so like the first thing we need to do is basically download the zip. So it's structured, there's a couple of header files and an INO, so it's not completely straightforward what's going on. I had a look at it before and I think I kind of half had it figured out, so let's see. Yeah, the problem with doing these streams at like 9:30 on a Monday is I'm pretty tired at 9:30 on a Monday, so my brain is just like useless. So I'm hoping that what I understood from the last time I read it still holds true. But She doesn't know how hard you work on things, Mike. Yeah, no, it's funny though, like as in, like when I told people I was gonna work on my own stuff for 3 months, people were like, "Oh, jeez, isn't that grand?" or whatever. I never worked so hard in my life. Honestly, it was yeah, definitely the hardest I've ever worked was those 3 months off. So what's in this lib folder? Oh, yeah. So he uses platform IO. Not that it really matters. So I'm just going to open this in the Arduino IDE. Actually, I'm going to navigate to it because it's probably going to open with the wrong version of the Arduino IDE. I still haven't fixed that issue where my main installed version is has some weird ESP8266 core. So yep. Someday. Yeah, you will not be able to draw on my matrix, seeing as we'll be using it today as well. So I extracted this. So where is it? ESP Tetris Clock master source Tetris Clock. I know. Yes. Okay. Cool. So we've opened this hash define pattern 4. I expected it to open all the other tabs. Just find where that went. ESP Tetris Clock master source. Okay, so it's okay. Now if I close this and open it again, hopefully it'll have all the tabs, and it does. Okay, awesome. So there's not actually a whole lot in the INO. It does some pulling in of libraries, including Wi-Fi Manager. Again, that shouldn't be part of the actual Tetris code, I would say. Like, that's up to the user to implement Wi-Fi Manager if they want to implement it. But that's fine. So he does this draw intro. I presume that's defined in drawing. We'll take a look in a minute. He does the Wi-Fi Manager. So he attaches this display update ticker. So this is kind of like a constant loop that tells it to update the display. Took me a while to figure out where the display was actually getting updated in terms of like drawing the Tetris blocks, but yeah, it's okay. And he is the NTP server and blah 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 blah. Let's just get this up and running, and then we can look through the code as we're looking through the code. So one thing I guess I could just use the Wi-Fi Manager to not show you my username and password. Yeah, let's literally upload this the way it is. I even presume that all the wiring and stuff is correct. Let me just check that. It's in definitions. It's using the regular ESP pin numbers. It's probably the same as 2DOM has kind of set out. So let's just upload this thing, see how it goes. Actually, Wi-Fi Manager, it's just going to connect to my Wi-Fi anyways, because you know this board already has connected to my Wi-Fi previously. So let's see how we get on. Switch this over to be Wemos D1 Mini, and let's click upload. I just have a white page in front of the LED matrix. Oh, I have autofocus on. Awesome. Compiling. Okay, so I have a few libraries I need to install. Time lib is one of them. Possibly even Wi-Fi Manager too. Time lib. It's not finding much. What if I search for NTP client lib? I was looking at this as well, this NTP client lib. This seems to have support for daylight savings time. I didn't look in to see how it does it, but there is definitely in this code there is a check for daylight savings time, and it's coming from this NTP time lib. Now where this time this time lib is coming from, I'm not sure. Hopefully it's now included that I clicked on or installed the other one. I'm not super hopeful about that. No, it's not there. Let me just search for timelib.h on Google, see what it is. Yes, Mike, there is a good way of resetting it. What am I doing here? Is my keyboard working? Yep. Oh, I probably did the Mac way of copy and pasting or something. Yeah, let me grab you something, Mike. Here's one I prepared earlier. I made a video on this exact topic. It is a Wi-Fi manager one, and this is my favorite way of handling resets on the using the when you have Wi-Fi manager. Basically there's another library called the double reset detector, and if you press the reset button twice, it will send you into config mode. Well, the double reset detector is just a library for detecting that the reset button was pressed twice. What you do with it is up to you, but in that video, in the use case I'm doing is sending you into config mode on when you're using Wi-Fi manager. So hopefully that's good. What did I find here? The timelib.h is this Paul Struffagen. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that right. It's Staffregen. Let's see if he's here. I think it's just a regular time library, is it? Time is a valuable thing. Paul. No, seems like I need to manually install that time library. That's fine. That seems weird. Anyways. Yep, I've downloaded it before anyway, so it must be what I'm looking for. Sketch, include library, add zip. We'll go to downloads. I really need to clean out my downloads folder. What's it called? Time Master. Time Master. Let's just grab this old one. No. Let's upload. Yeah, let me know if you run into any issues with that mic. Anyways, it should be good. Wi-Fi manager. Yeah, as I mentioned, this is kind of like not my main install, so like all these libraries that I should have installed, or even that you've seen me use before, I don't have them installed. So Wi-Fi manager. There's double reset detector. It's funny that that shows up before Wi-Fi manager when you search for Wi-Fi manager. Yeah. Okay. I have a feeling this is gonna be the time now. That's compiling anyways. So the definitions, the time zone is 1, so this is gonna show German time, I think. I think I'm time zone 0. I'm not sure though. Probably. I'm probably time zone 0, but now we're in summertime. Look at the focus on this thing. Yeah, fix that. Logitech desk. Configure video. Turn off all this white balance stuff. Low light compensation. Focus. That looks pretty focused to me. That looks better. I guess we'll see when there's something to display on it. I just cut off the empty space above. Ooh, Tetris Time repeated twice. Okay. So we have some work to do. I don't know if the white page is helping. Let's take off the white page. It probably helps you see the colors, but I don't know. He let me know. I still haven't bought that plastic thing that you were talking about, Mike. Let's not grab it too tight there. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry, so I might just leave it off. Send me some down. I'll go in at some stage and get it. So you can see here it's only updating what it needs to update, which is pretty nice. So you can see there it's saying 2249. So there's some characters over here on the right. Who knows what they're doing? It looks like it's missing the top of the, like, it seems weird that the 2 wouldn't have anything on the top, but I'm not sure. Maybe that is okay. Not sure what's going on with the rest of them. So I guess what would be good to do is start looking through the code now. I'm supposed to show you in large what's going on with this. So this should only be drawing. This should only be drawing. Oh, that's actually a good point. That's probably what's wrong, Mike. Yeah, the configuration is this here, and it doesn't have E and. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Configuration. So the matrix display only has A, B, and C. So it doesn't have the D and E line, which we need on my display. So yeah, let's get that working, and we'll see what it looks like. So I'm just copying and pasting from one of the other ones that works. So the D and E is on 12 and E, and then this is the new display, and also, yeah, the definition was wrong too. So yeah, let's see how this works out. I have a feeling that it's just going to draw here. I would consider it like it's working as expected if it's just drawing here, because let's see if I can show you. So it's kind of cool how he has it working. So like the number 0, like, is in, he has defined all these different parts that make it up or whatever. Tetris Time, change the scan line setup. Yep, I think you could be right on that. Where is that? P lat 16. No, that's okay. Where does he have the scan line defined? It's probably in the INO. display begin. That's where we normally do it, isn't it? The display begin. Display 70. Display begin 16, yeah, so I think it might default to 8. So let's change that to 16 and upload it again because it's kind of all over itself at the moment. Yeah, so that's another thing that needs to get like kind of passed in or whatever. So like how I'm thinking is that you would kind of set up your display, do this display that clear. Yeah, so this is working as I'd expect at the moment. Let's see, does it draw anything? I don't know why it wouldn't. Is it crashing or anything? There's nothing coming on the serial monitor. Let's just reset it there. Oops. It's connecting. Got an IP address. But it doesn't seem to be getting the time or moving on past that, which is interesting. But anyways, yeah, so back to the numbers. So if we go up and look at the struct that it reset that time now. Let's grab why that reset. I do have exception decoder installed. Let's see why this reset. It's probably going to be Watchdog or something. Calc heap. Did I run out of heap memory? This isn't going to be fun to find out what's wrong. Display updater ntp time.h. Scan start at 16. This isn't going to be fun to figure out, is it? ntp time.h. Go to line 14. Num position. So where is this coming from? Set time number. Search all tabs. Okay, position. String display time. Char at position. Position is, while position is less than 4. Yeah, so position should be fine. I think that's just the numbers, like as in the first number in the clock is position 0. The second number, so if like it's currently 21:55, that would be, the first one is 2, the second one would be 1. So that should be okay. So not sure what's going on there. Might enable these debugs and see what the story is. Control/ is the I can do a bit of that too. Oops. Let's upload this again and see what the story is. I'm not sure why changing the scan line would cause issues. Maybe it has a bigger buffer or something, so it's actually running out of heap memory. Upload failed. Let's try again, please. I don't know. I could take out Wi-Fi manager and see, does that make any difference as well? Tetris time. Look, it's not hitting those serial prints too quickly. So if we take a look at what the setup is doing, it display draw intro, which is the Tetris time, I presume. It connects to the Wi-Fi, so this is connected okay. It displays this ticker and attaches display updater, then yields and then delays for 2 seconds, and then gets into the loop. So init state should be 1. It should be beginning the NTP server. So let's put a serial print in that just to make sure we're getting in here. Serial print run NTP start. Timer, display ticker attached, display updater, timer ticker attached, number updater. So this is actually the thing that draws the numbers over and over again. So we're not getting in here. Whether we get to here or not, I presume not. Oops. That was the stack trace. So this is init state equals 2. So let's upload this again and see where we get on in that. How's everyone's day going in terms of I know it's a Monday, but it was nice enough up in Dublin. It wasn't that nice in Athlone in terms of weather. Like I was working from home on Friday, and like I was talking to some of the guys in work, and they were saying, "Oh, it's lovely here on Friday up in Dublin," and it was not nice in Athlone. It was thunder and lightning and everything. So I haven't seen this, and it's after resetting there, so it crashed. So it's this display updater, I guess. Hey, where is display updater? Guess I could prove that out, but it has to be there. Let's do a find. Display updater. Yeah, that's nothing really. ISR for display refresh. That's all it needs to be. The timer is too fast. This one here. Yeah, we can make this less fast. What do I use elsewhere? I'll just use the examples. Display updater. It's pretty much that speed. 0, 0, 2 is what I was using in other examples. So okay, we'll give it a go. Do I have the speed? I'm at the wrong speed too. Let's bump that up too, although I've already compiled at the other speed, so this is going to be for 80, but we'll bump it up to 160 afterwards. Alright, good job, Mike. Gold star. It's drawing nice and slowly here, but it looks good. It looks good. Now, good job, Mike. So I guess ideally you'd want to get to a stage where you can make this full screen. I'm not overly worried about that at the moment. What I am more concerned about is I think it'd be good if I could tell it where to be. So like it's this height now, right? So it's whatever that is, 10 or 12 pixels tall, and I'm okay with that. But like I should be able to say I want it down the bottom, I want it in the middle, I want it wherever. I should be able to say where I want to put it. And I guess as well it would be nice if you could have multiple instances of the library. So like if you wanted to put text up or the time up here and your YouTube subscriber count down here, that you could. I'm not 100% sure on how that one would work out, but yeah, I noticed the color is changing on, say, like this one here. It doesn't change in person. Now let's just bring up Desk Plus Me so you can have a better look at it. But yeah, so that's pretty nice. I like that a lot. And yeah, as I mentioned, there is definitely something to do with time zones in here. Where is it? Get summertime or something? Definitions. NTP is summertime, so it's printing out whether it is summertime. So I think this just automatically looks after summertime for you, because I don't see where he's telling it, hey, I'm summertime, but it is working right for German summertime. So yeah, I think it just automatically works, which is super nice. Good job, whoever wrote that library. NTP get time string. Yeah, it has to be just right. Cool. And then he decides to display the ticker based on whether the seconds are odd or not. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, thanks for that, Mike. Okay, so I guess the first thing we'd want to do is create it'd probably be a blank project for this. So Tobias was saying, I was asking Tobias, did he want to create a new repo, and I would like push a pull request to that, but he was saying to just push a pull request to this repo. The reason I was suggesting a new one is just because I'm going to make like fundamental changes to this. Like number one, I'm going to turn it from an example to a library, so I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out for him on a pull request, but so that's the way he preferred to do it though, so I'm okay with that either. So Tetris time, let's pull that up. So I'm just going to fork it, as witness me now. I'm not showing you what I'm doing. I pressed the fork button up here, and yeah, so this is now a copy of his repo under my account. So I am going to clone this down in Bitbucket or Source Tree or whatever it's called. Source Tree is the one I use, which is Bitbucket's client. If you're not familiar with GitHub, Git, I would probably just use the Git for Windows client. It's pretty easy. So yeah, the Tetris clock. Let me just turn that off for a second. You can watch the clock go. My SSH keys are not loading. That's weird. Christmas pageant. Okay, try. Okay, cool. So I'm just cloning it down. Right, so now I have this cloned down locally, and I have all of Tobias's history and everything. So you can even see here he had ideas of, you know, YouTube counter and weather forecast and support multiple displays already. So yeah, hopefully we can submit something back to him, because I've definitely made a lot of good use out of, or made a lot of use anyways out of his libraries. So yeah, okay, let's open, what'll I use? Visual Studio Code, I guess. Kind of preferring that over Atom these days. Hey Slayer Dart, how's it going? Mike, it's Source Tree, so it's made by Atlassian or whoever owns Bitbucket. Yeah, it's good. It's more advanced than the Git for Windows or whatever, but like it's still easy enough to use. On a Mac I would just use command line or whatever, but I don't like Git Bash all that much. How come your eating and sleeping schedules are messed up, Slayer Dart? I am sleeping enough. That's I wouldn't call it a scheduling issue. I just call it a I'm stupid issue and not going to bed on time. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty good now, to be honest. Pretty happy. Okay, so this is now in my documents folder. Yeah, no, I was like about 2 weeks ago, I was saying that I moved job recently. I moved from the Galway office of the company I work for to the Dublin office, and it doubled my commute time, and I was finding that like super tough. I was just exhausted when I came home, and I'd have to go to bed earlier, so I was getting less time like to do anything because I'd have to get up earlier. I was just tired all the time, but I've started to work from home a couple of days a week, and it's definitely made a pretty big difference. So it looks like it's after figuring out that this is an Arduino project, because it's showing me examples for stuff already, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is, if we bring up an example library of mine, say like the YouTube API one, GitHub YouTube. GitHub YouTube API, Arduino API is what I meant to say. I was like, why did I search for that? Right, so the main things that make up an Arduino library is this library .properties is the thing that says like, hey, this is the author of it, here's the maintainer, and blah 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 blah. Like this gives you the blurb that when you search for this is the blurb you search for when, or sorry, you see when you search for it, and here's the URL that you can click on, and then yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, oh, the commutes are definitely unavoidable. Like I'm going up 3 days a week. So I'm trying to work from home Tuesdays and Fridays, but tomorrow I have a meeting that I need to go up for, so I'm hoping to maybe work from home Wednesday instead. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just don't know. So we're gonna create this library .properties, library.properties file, and I'm just gonna paste in the stuff from here. So this is another thing that I don't know exactly what to put in. Like author, it was really Tobias, I think it's Bloom, that wrote it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't envy that either. I would imagine it's a small bit better, although I'd say traffic coming out of Ericsson's is awful in the evening time. It's like coming home, like at the moment I'm going, so I work in City West. I leave heading out the M7 and cut across at Kill and via Straffen or wherever the K Club is, because just going back into town, like the M50 is a disaster. The whole motorway from like Lucan to Maynooth is a disaster. Oh, it's just so bad. Yeah, like I've left at 4:30. It's a disaster. Like you do need to go. No, so I up to like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was just a standard app developer, but I'm after moving to like an innovation team with the current company I'm on, and so at the moment now I'm just drawing charts in JavaScript, but like we're doing some VR work then as well, and yeah, it's pretty nice. That was the reason I went to Dublin. It was for this job. I just liked the sound of it, so I said I'd do it. So what's the name of this library going to be? Tetris Matrix Draw. I don't know. Tetris is probably. It was a web app. Yeah, I used to work with Angular. Angular 4, I guess. 2 to 4. It got updated while I was there, so it was 2, then moved to 4. And before that, I was a C# developer, so I'm working on Windows apps. I'm gonna throw my name in there. Maintainer. Definitely gonna need to change that at some stage. This is all stuff that's not important for this sentence. Tetris, cool. Tetris is really cool. Communications, I don't know what that category does for anything, but yeah. Yeah, no, Angular is good. It's really good. I recommend it. Kind of just adds a lot of nice structure to your code, I would say. You know, and kind of makes it easy to use stuff like templates and things like that, which is pretty nice. Okay, so the other thing we have here is a source folder. So that's actually optional with libraries. You don't need to have a source folder, but you can have one if you want. I tend to keep them. So like you can say like this YouTube API has YouTube API.h in the source folder, but you could move those two files out here and it would work the exact same. But I like to keep the source folder there because it just keeps things nice and structured. When you're looking for the code, you know what's in there. You don't need to look through the licenses and readmes and blah 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 blah. So yeah, gonna keep the source in there. Okay, so let's call so I'm gonna make a new file called Tetris Matrix raw.h. So this will be where I'm gonna define some of my stuff. I don't know exactly what I need to define. So this definitions.h, this init state, this is all app stuff. String display, that's app stuff. Seconds odd, it's kind of app stuff. We might give it a display time thing. Yeah, Wi-Fi manager, don't need any of that. LED matrix, so none of that stuff is actually going to go into this code. Good morning. I guess you need to play back those definitions. Hash define good morning. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, Sion, our unexpected maker. I'm not sure which you prefer to go by, but good afternoon to you, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely evening. Good evening to you. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning. Wednesday. Good morning on Tuesday to you. Ugh, I just time zones. A fork of the Tetris clock library. Yeah, take a look at that, unexpected maker. Look at that. Cool thing. So this is written by the guy who wrote the Mac lighting software. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And we're gonna. So this is just an example sketch, and we want to convert it into a library so that we can use it to display other things than just the clock, which I think would be pretty nice. Okay, cool. So I don't think we need any of those things from here. We will need to keep a reference to a PX matrix, but we're not going to define it like this. So I think it would be a good idea to pass that in the constructor. So let's actually start with that. Let me just bring up. I do something similar for the Arduino IDE, or sorry, the YouTube API. So let's start with that. I will do the hash includes and stuff like that too. That would make sense. Yeah, I don't know what to do about copyrights and things like that. Let me just copy the whole thing in, and we'll worry about that in a second. So Tetris Matrix draw. Copyright 2 times machine. Device. Tetris Matrix clock. I'll worry about kind of tidying up this properly some other time. Slayer Dart, I buy everything pretty much from AliExpress. Yeah, what kind of project are you thinking about making? We can maybe give you some advice on what to buy or where to buy it, but yeah, that's fine. I'm awful with grammar too, so once I can figure out what you're talking about, you won't hear bad from me about grammar. See, bad from me. You won't hear about it from me. So if not defined, define Tetris matrix draw. So this will actually stop. That line up there will stop us from defining this. Will stop us from defining the library twice. So if we did want to use multiples of it, where's the end of it? Yeah, I knew I was missing something from it. Did I take class? Yeah. So if we pulled in this library twice for whatever reason, or if we pulled in a library that was making use of this library, if it found that hash define was already there, so if not defined Tetris matrix draw H, it defines it, so then the next time it's called, this won't happen. So you know, this library will only get initialized once. Grammar or pronunciation, hey, don't make fun of our pronunciations. 3. My wife gives out to me for pronouncing 3 with a H in it, because that's not how I normally would say it. I would say tree, like a tree in the woods, for the number 3, but like I try really hard when I'm making videos to to not do that. Okay, so we need to include reference to the PX matrix library. I don't know why it's given out about the Arduino thing. Please update your include paths. That's fine. who cares? Hash defines. I don't think we need anything here in terms of hash defines. We'll add them if we do. The class that we want to add is going to be this Tetris Matrix draw. It's going to have a public. Trees in the woods. Speaking of tree. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I even unconsciously, yeah, 33 and a third. Hey, make me laugh. How's it going? Yeah, no worries. I haven't actually. I'm not sure if you've been going live recently either. But then again, normally when you go live, it's pretty late for me. But that hasn't stopped me being on before because I'm stupid. But yeah. So this is how we were, or this is how I was doing it in the YouTube API. I was passing in a client, a HTTPS client. So instead of passing in the HTTPS client, we're going to pass in a PX matrix, and we're going to call it display, and we're going to keep PX matrix display. I'll probably make it public in case I want to do anything with it. Yeah, I'll make it public just in case, I guess. I don't see why I'd need to make it private. Yeah, so that would look after that. Global at all. That's what I tend to do half the time. Here's the first question I'll have to ask. Yeah, no problem. How easy to what electronic devices are you looking to connect? Like the kind of modules and stuff, like once you don't short out VCC and ground to each other, they're pretty robust, I would say. But without being able to answer, like, electronic devices is pretty broad. Maybe you could narrow it down to what exactly you're thinking about. So I'm going to need to have more. Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. I don't know if I need private at all at the moment. I'm definitely going to need methods for like drawing stuff, but we'll see. Where I guess it's drawing, right? So I guess draw char would be one thing that I'd want to expose, right? So let's get that working first. I think that would be a good start. We can ignore the time stuff. That sounds like it would be worse than it is, but there's a pretty for cars there's a pretty defined like standard. Is it? I want to say OBS, but it's not OBS. That's the streaming software. Is it OBD? OBD. OBD2. Yeah, Arduino. So like there's tons of instructions for hooking up to an OBD adapter with Arduino, and even like you can get Bluetooth ones so that you can probably even communicate with them over Bluetooth, which would be like there'd be no fear of you doing anything to your car at that stage. I want to caveat that though, I'm not responsible if you break your car, but that OBD2 thing, like have a look up on that, and you should find everything you need, hopefully. Okay, so draw char is one of the things we're going to take here. This is perfect actually, draw char. This is exactly what we want because we can just expose that in our method. So we're going to call tetris.drawchar, and we can just pass in things the same way he's doing down here, and we'd be golden. So yeah, let's go back up here. Void draw char string blah 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 blah. Colors, I'm gonna need to pull this in as well, I guess. Yes, I guess I am. Where my red, my green. Display that color. So yeah, they get defined afterwards, I guess. For the moment, I'm just gonna pull them out. I will need them later in the Tetris stuff, but yeah, for the moment I'll just pull them out. So we're just gonna pass in display that color blah 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 for recreating this Tetris display. Okay, so draw char. So let's make a CPP file now. You're more than welcome. I'm happy when I have an answer to a question. Yeah, I actually bought one of them, a Bluetooth one. I've no idea where it is. Do I? No, I have one for my Opal. I actually don't have an Opal. Oh, there it is. On my long list of to-do projects, that's the little Bluetooth adapter for one. Yeah, so I think that should work fine though. Yeah. What I was thinking would be quite nice is if like you can find out stuff like how much diesel you have, or petrol, or gas, if that's what you call it. And you can also find out stuff like how much miles are on the clock. So I was thinking it'd be kind of nice if like you were keeping track of your mileage and diesel every evening or whatever. Like when you came home, if you were within Wi-Fi range, it would update your server or whatever it needs to update with those details. And I also thought it'd be quite nice for the alarm project. It's a million miles away, but would be to, like, say for example I don't have enough diesel to get me to work, that like it would make the alarm go off 5 minutes earlier. Like it would check, oh, judging by the amount of diesel Brian uses, he doesn't have enough diesel to travel the 100 miles to work. Or it's not 100 miles, I'm not sure what it is exactly. Maybe it is 100 miles, probably is. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but yeah. So let me just go back here. I'm a copy and paste programmer. I really should stop doing that, but we are where we are, so I'm not going to change my ways anytime soon. Okay, I only really need this much of it. Let's see where we're going. Right, let me just pull the header from the other one. I'm going to hash include the Tetris Matrix draw.h. Gonna use Tetris Matrix draw. We're going to pull in the PX Matrix display. Yep, Witness Me Now is my GitHub handle. I don't have anything to do with the OBD2 stuff on it though. I haven't, like, buying this was as far as I got. This is like $2 or $3 on AliExpress as well, so worth, not yeah, not overly expensive or anything. So what did I call this? Underscore It's just called display here. Let's call this disp. I wouldn't normally, I don't know. I can't think of a better thing to call this at the moment, so I'm just gonna call it disp. So this is going to be display, and then, no, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. It should be this dot display. I can go back to calling this display, can I? Yeah, okay. I thought I was going to have a conflict of names there, but the this.display is going to cover me. Okay. Right, so what is in this draw char? Display.set text. Yeah, okay. That's probably not really needed for this Tetris library, I would say. Yeah, witness meow. Yeah, I can't tell you what was going through my head when I made that name. I made it when I was like 15 or something. I didn't want a name with a number at the end. That I knew that much, but I don't know why I picked what I did. So, but like, I don't know. It's kind of, it's my online handle for better or worse. So, yeah, I kind of have a bit of an identity crisis online. Like I go as Brian Locke on a lot of stuff, and then Witness Me Now on other stuff, and it's just kind of like, ooh. Sometimes people, I don't know, like they don't know that I'm the same person or whatever. So yeah, yeah, like Ford or GM, right? Like my car is Opel, which is also GM, and it's a 2008 and has that OBD connector, so I'd imagine they'd be the same, but I'm not 100%. Let me just turn my phone on silent again. Yeah, I guess I don't really need this draw char because it's just, I'm just gonna put it in anyways. Just to get something working to make me feel better about myself. Okay, so we're going to put in the thing of the display, and then we're going to have draw char, which I'll just pull from here, which is going to look something like this, except it's going to be this dot display, and it's going to be this now, I think. Hey David, when you're on the Twitter app, I get a link to a different Witness Me Now from your YouTube profile link text. That's interesting. Yeah, like I don't understand with the YouTube thing. Like, so I eventually set up that like channel text thing that I now have the channel Brian Locke or whatever. Maybe it's B Locke. I can't even remember. But it's like when I originally signed up to my Google account, it was Witness Me Now. And I don't know what's going on with that. Like sometimes I still see Witness Me Now links or whatever. They both seem to work for me, but I don't know. Okay, so that should be everything I need for that. Letter, I'm going to change that to char. No, I can't call it char. Maybe back to letter. Letter was fine. Yeah. It's Tetris Matrix H. Right. If we get this working, that would be a good first test that we know, like, passing in the library works. Yeah, like, that should end up at me, I think. Like, that was previously my account before they brought in that thing that... Do you remember, like, maybe it was like 5 or 6 years ago, they wanted to move people away from, like, the online names to their actual YouTube names. I actually did click on it at one stage and, like, say, yeah, okay, you can rename me Brian Locke. So it would have used to have been Witness Me Now, but I don't know. It's still hanging around there somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna make an example folder up here somewhere. Am I? New folder. Example. Is it example or examples? It is examples. So let's rename that. Let's try rename that again. Yeah. Geez, so we've a saying for people like you, Make Me Lab, you're as handy as a small pot. I don't know if that translates well to different countries, but small pots are pretty useful. Yeah, certified mechanic. Is there anything you can't do? Okay, so in examples, I'm gonna make a new folder, and we're just gonna do simple chart draw, and then we're going to make simple chart draw .ino. Now I'm going to open this in. Will I open it in? No, I'll just write it in here. Okay, so I'm going to take the LED example, one of the instructables one. I'm just going to paste it in here, and then I'm going to take away what I don't need from it. I actually do need these, my reds and stuff. How useful. I don't know if I need that. PX matrix display, that's all good. Yeah, all good, all good. Updater, that's all good too. Setup, begin, clear display. Don't know what this is doing, so we don't need it. Micro start, yeah, don't care. Yeah, don't care really. So what do I want to do here? Draw. I'm gonna make a new method which is just called draw intro. Which is nothing in it, and I'm just going to copy and paste this stuff from drawing. Yes, this was also called draw intro. Oh, perfect. Back up here. I think I copied and pasted the whole thing. Yeah, you never know when we're going to hit an old apocalypse and we'll need some Mad Max style cars, so being a mechanic might be pretty useful. Okay, so that gives me that. One thing I could actually do here as well is what is it? This is the X and Y value. So it's Tetris time. So I could possibly just pass in an XY value so I could move it wherever I wanted. So I could move it out into the middle. That'd be pretty easy to do because I could just offset X. Let's do that. Int X, int Y. And even if people don't want to pass in anything, we can default them to 0. Yeah, that doesn't really make a huge amount of sense for not a library to be defaulting stuff, but you know. So this would be X, this would be X plus 5, X plus 11, X plus 17, X plus 6, blah, 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 blah. And then this would be Y. So I'm pressing Control D to select multiple things that are the same there. And then I can replace them all at once, which is pretty nice, I think. And here, look at this for a fancy trick. So I'm selecting my 9, I'm pressing Control D again multiple times to select all of these, letting go of Control, and then I can press left on my keyboard, and you can see I have the cursor in the same place for all of them. Now I can do Y plus 9, and I modified them all at the one time. So let's make this 10, comma 10, just for the fun of it. Now I think that will probably work. Who knows? Let's find out, I guess. Okay, so let's go to File, include library, add zip library. So let's go to Documents. What's this thing called again? ESP Tetris Clock. Oh, wait a second, I'm missing something. I need to include Tetris Matrix.h in here. I guess I'll make it this as well. Now back to here. It added the library anyways, so that looked like it worked okay. Go to examples. Hopefully I have a Tetris Matrix display. I do. Yeah, everyone will want to be on Make Me Lab's team. He knows electronics, he's got a load of drones, he can 3D print like weapons, he's a mechanic. Yeah. Probably has like ice hockey sticks too. And I actually don't know what part of Canada you're from, but I'm hoping you've a reserve of maple syrup as well. That would be the deal changer for me. I'd be like, yeah, I'm on his team. Yeah, so let's try upload this and see what happens. Do I think it's gonna work? No. Definitely not. Okay, so my problem here is that I didn't initialize my Tetris Matrix library like I was meant to. That's my first problem. Tetris Matrix draw. So let's just call this Tetris. And I completely forget how you do this part of it. Back to being a copy and paster. Okay, yeah. So it's just Tetris, and then we're gonna pass in the display. Oh yeah, I don't want to resave that at the moment, thank you. And Then instead of draw chair, it's going to be Tetris draw chair. So if this works, remind me to copy it back to the example. I'm so used to pressing Control S to save, but I don't want to save here. Yeah, no matching functionality. No matching function. Has non-pointer type Tetris Matrix draw. Okay, so it doesn't like anything I've done here. Oh, there's expected bracket before this ampersand in here somewhere. The only ampersand I see is this one. Did I do something wrong there? Let's read the error code a bit better. I suppose that'd probably help. Or expected close bracket before ampersand token on this line. That's strange, is it? Let's go back to some copy and pasting. Source, header. Yeah. That should work. Oh, it shouldn't be star display, or should it? No, it should, right? Yeah, it's star client there. My star client, YouTube API public. Tetris Matrix draw. Tetris Matrix draw. Tetris Matrix draw. Don't you need a comma between PX Matrix and display? No, like this display should be of type PX Matrix, so it should be like saying string letter. But I don't know why it's given out. Oh, maybe there's just there's another problem in it, and maybe it's just throwing up multiple issues. So there should be an ampersand, or sorry, semicolon here. Maybe that's enough to be causing problems. So let's go to documents. Let's go to downloads. Ugh. Don't judge me. I'll clear out my downloads at some stage. The problem with having big hard drives is you never clear out anything. So this is a portable install, so it's under portable, then it's under sketchbook, then it's under libraries, and here it is, ESP10. So let me copy across my updated one of those, replace the file in the destination. Okay, so I've made changes to this, just basically added that semicolon, and let's see, does that make a difference? No, still given out. Draw intro is not declared in this scope. Does it need to be before it? Maybe. Let's try that. Come on. Okay, still giving out. Alright, well, the top level issue is still this expected bracket before the at. How is that? PX matrix. Did I do of type PX matrix right? No, I didn't. That is probably my problem. So I didn't have it. PX matrix is all capitals other than the X looks lowercase. So I think that could be my problem. So let's bring back up my source folder, copy this across again, plus file and destination. Do I have that same issue in the CPP file? I do. So let's copy that across. Oh, I'm after putting that on my desktop. Whoops. Okay, so that's copied across. So let's re-upload this. Hey, my name here. How's it going? Yeah, it's nice. It'd be even nicer if I could get it to work. No, we're trying to port, like, this is an example sketch that somebody wrote, and we're trying to port this to a library so we can use it for more than just the time. And he also made it for a screen with less LEDs, so it would be nice if it supported any screen in terms of, like, I could position this wherever I wanted to position it. So if I wanted to bring it down here or whatever, that it would work better. Eventually it'd be nice if you could specify the size of it too. So instead of, say, like, this is made up of 4 blocks or whatever, you double the size of everything to make it fill out the entire screen. So it looks like we got further than we did. The base operand of that has a non-pointer type Tetris matrix draw. Oh, sorry, I don't need to do this. I need to leave them as dots because it's not a pointer. That's my bad. But I think I do need to make something in the actual library have those instead of dots. There. Oh, I keep pressing Control S. That's fine. Oh, I already did that. Okay, cool. I'm hopeful now. I think this is gonna work. Who knows? Yeah, I posted it up on Reddit before I started. I posted it up on Reddit before I started the stream. The first comment I got, is this a thing, watching people write code? It's fair. YouTube API, whoops. That one's on both of us. And why it shouldn't be returning anything, it should be void. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, that looks better. Let's copy and paste that in. And then the reply to him was like, rule 100010. There is somebody coding right now somewhere. And they're probably doing it on camera. Yeah, no, I don't know if I've talked about it in a while, but like the main reason like I like streaming is because like I can do my stream for an hour or 2 or however long it takes, and that's it finished, then it's done. So like it does kind of chew into making video time, but it's kind of like a consistent content. And to be honest as well, like I do enjoy troubleshooting with you guys and stuff. Like I've gotten a lot of help off the viewers in the past. it's nice to not just be working on your own. So yeah, no, I enjoy them. Yeah, no, it's like I really enjoy working with other people, and I don't get to do that a huge amount with the Arduino type stuff. So it's nice to have that. Okay, let's see, does this work now? Yeah, there's some people like I have to be honest, like at the start of, like, say Twitch or whatever, before I started really using Twitch myself, I kind of was like, I liked seeing people work on stuff. Like, I did watch live streams from YouTubers or whatever, but I never watched Twitch, like normal Twitch, in terms of, like, I never watched Shroud or whatever. Like, I liked watching clips from streamers, but I never actually watched the stream. So that worked okay anyways, in terms of, like, its offset and things like that. So that proves out that we can pass in the display by reference and use it that way. So now it's time to start drawing the clock or whatever. But yeah, no, I'm starting to get the appeal of it a little bit more. Oh, hey Gary, how's it going? You missed the best part of it. The Tetris clock thing is way better than this. This is just a little hello world almost to get us going. But okay, so let's start worrying about drawing the Tetris clock. So numbers.h. I'm gonna need this, but there's this problem that this my red and stuff is going to that's not going to be defined. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Yeah. So what's it currently doing? There's a colors. So if I pull in that first, it would be defined in global space, and then if I pull in the numbers afterwards, that potentially works. I'm not 100% sure on that though. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna rename these as well. Instead of my. I'm gonna call them Tetris red, Tetris green, blah 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 blah, just so it doesn't conflict with anything else. Hey Chris, how's it going? Good evening to you. Yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. Actually, one thing I miss a lot when I miss a lot when I'm coding on stream as opposed to coding on my own is music. I find, like, a distraction like music helps me focus so much better. Oh, that's a good idea actually. So that's kind of like a live kind of coding where, like, multiple people can contribute at the one time. That's an interesting concept actually. Should maybe take a look at that for a future one. Okay, so let's pull in colors.h. belt like an American or Northern America. I presume in Canada they spell colors with no U either. I saw a stupid web comic one time where it was like two people talking and he said like, oh, look at the color of that flower or something. It's like, oh, you're a British spy because you didn't have the U in it, pointing to the text. I was like, that's dumb, but also pretty funny. Yeah, so numbers.h. So I'm not even going to try do any logic here. I just want somebody on my Steam list just launched Parappa the Rapper 2. That's a thing on Steam, is it? That game was so awful. Yeah. I know, like definitely on streams, like I lose focus all the time. A manager on my last team in work used to call that squirreling, you know, like the dogs from Up, or like you're doing something then suddenly it's squirrel. Yeah, so I haven't played Half-Life in yonks. I don't think I ever actually finished Half-Life 2, which is kind of disappointing. So I'm just going to pull this header file in and see does it compile. It's not going to at the moment because I need to update this. My. Just gonna Control D at all. What did I change them to? Tetris. Is that right? Tetris. Yeah. I just want to see does it compile. Like, does it pick up the color Tetris Cyan or whatever it's called? I also need to copy back the changes I made to this to the example while I think about it. That's fine, and come back here, copy across this, replace, back here and upload. Let's see, does it upload? Yeah, I've mentioned, yeah, so it doesn't like this unit colors. Okay, I don't think that's actually used anywhere though. Let's see. Well, I definitely don't use it in this code. Does he use it anywhere? My colors. No, it's not used anywhere. So I'm gonna get rid of that from colors. So it's just an array of the different colors, but he doesn't. I guess maybe it might be useful at some stage. Tetris colors, like if you wanted to randomize the colors of them. I don't know, maybe. I'll leave it there and I'll get rid of it in my code here. Oh. Redefinition of. No, it's called Tetris colors here. So what is the problem? Okay. I updated what it is here, but I never updated it. I never updated it in the library, so that was colors.h. Should replace that one. I think I already did. And numbers.h. Sorry, Mike, you found alpha character set, which would be quite easy to convert for this. All fit in 6 pixel wide, except for the W. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, was it the last Monday's stream? I was working on the ESP32 project, which I need to get back to. But like, a clock didn't fit on my 4-segment wide LED matrix, you know, the Mac 7219 ones. So I had to change library to some other one that didn't have as wide of a font. So yeah, that's where that project is at the moment. That was a real 1 step forward, 2 step back type scenario. Add the clock and then suddenly I need to replace the entire display library. So yeah. Okay, so display dot color 565. Yeah, so this is an issue. The issue being that I need the display before I can define the colors. Yeah, so I think what I can probably, what can I do here? I could so this is hash defining that to be 13, but then this is only called when the header is okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. This is only called when the header file is included. But I need to define Tetris orange at that stage. Size num0. I could have like an initialize display option. Initialize colors, I guess, would be one of them, where I just do this display color blah 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 blah. I can't really think of a better way of doing that at the moment. So like as part of the constructor, I'd call a private method that would basically populate all these, and then call another private method that would populate all these, fall instruction number 0, and like leave this defined like this, but then have an initialize that lets it equal to this. Can't really think of a better way of doing that. Unless anyone has any suggestions. Yeah, I think I'll just have to go with that. I could even have like initialize 0, initialize 1. Nah, it'll probably just be initialize fonts or whatever. Right, so I guess I could just do this here, right? Initialize. I can't spell initialize. Initialize colors. I'm gonna keep it without a U, even though I'm not happy about it. Take all of this. Take that without or with the space gone. Do that. Do that. I don't know if I can do this. Initialize. And these got my back. It's for us Europeans. Initialize colors. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing with this array, so I'm just going to leave it out. There's no point bringing it around with me for no reason. I don't really have a great way of, or a quick way of getting rid of all this without just manually doing it. I could do like regular expression to match stuff, but so by the time I'm finished writing the regular expression, I would have been well finished just grabbing it and deleting it. Okay, so let's initialize colors. So that should get me out of the colors hole, especially if I pass in a display. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to pass in a display to that. Oops. I'll take display. Okay, that should get me out there. Extra in my code. In. Oh, oh yes. I get you now. Initialize. Initialize. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, so I think that should be okay there. And now I can go back to my constructor. I pass in this display. Let's see, does that work before I do anything else? So let's even get rid of numbers. That was your fault, Andy. I trusted you. You failed me. Yeah, it's okay. I didn't even spot it. 2 ins. Wasn't even on my radar as spotting it. Let's open in. No, not find in folder. Can I not open this in folder? Reveal and Explorer. Yeah, because I want to copy and paste all of this stuff pretty much into here. Place the files in the destination. Okay, cool. Let's see, does this compile? I am relatively not hopeful at all. I've definitely made a mistake with this. Because display is oh, I need to pass in, is it ampersand display or something? Where am I? Display, Tetris display. I'm not sure what I need to do with this. Pointers and me are not friends. I copied and I moved the entire thing rather rather than copying it. Okay, so in here, oh, I need to just pass in display, not ampersand display, I think. You know, I'm not actually sure. I want to pass in the display to this initialize colors and use it the same way that I do over there. but I am not sure what I need to pass in there. Is it just display? But it's ampersand display. Is it a pointer? I am looking. Ampersand is not the American spelling. Initialize. I don't know, I guess we're European, so we can call it whatever we want. So if I already have a pointer, let's pass it in like that and see how it works out. I don't actually really know what I need to do here. No, still not happy with that. Has non-pointer. Is it not a pointer at that stage? I thought it was. It seems to be claiming it's not anyways, I don't know. Control D. Oh, what happened there? Control D. Okay, replacing that. Let's try that. I don't think it's gonna work though, but I'm not 100% sure. Error in passing arguments, void, initialize colors, px matrix. Error, invalid initialization of non-const reference of type of or value. You haven't missed a whole lot, so that won't take a long time. What do I need to do here? We're having a spelling lesson. Nobody is able to spell. None of us. So I want to... These colors get defined. And they're defined using the display code, which I'm passing into the library in the constructor. And I want to just pass through that reference to the display library to this colors.h. And it's not working for me. Like, why don't I just do initialize colors in, for the moment, let's just do it as a private and we'll do it in the CPP file. Okay. Private. Let's get things moving. What's this called? It's a void and I can't spell, but we've already spelled before, so we'll just do initialize colors. It doesn't need anything passed into it anymore. Let's open the CPP. Void Tetris Matrix draw : initialize colors. Doesn't need anything. I now have this dot display. Let's pull in all this stuff. Let's Control Z to get back these things because I need them. Let's paste that stuff in here, and let's paste in that's no, it should have been okay because shouldn't it have? Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe that was the problem. I'm just gonna do this because I know that it works, but that could be the problem. But I only have to do this to get it to work now, so it's too late for that. Yeah, let's get rid of this. That could have been the problem though. Although no, the header would have been on the compile path. Yeah, no, I seem to be doing that alright somehow. I'm using spaces and tabs at the one time. What is format on this? I know what it is on I know what it is on Mac. There's a way to auto format, but what it is on this? Don't know. Nope. If anybody wants to let me know, that's cool too. There. No. Yeah, happy. It's tabbed beautifully. I live life on the edge. Okay. Let's see, does this work? Let's copy and paste over everything. Copy, replace all. Click on the bottom spaces. Spaces for indent using spaces. Yeah, I'm okay with that. No, but there's actually in Mac anyways, for sure, if you press Shift Option, I think it's F, it formats it. Like, you know, auto indents and things like that, which would be quite nice, but I don't know what it is on Windows. Let's do upload of this. Expected an argument. Oops. Replace. Let's go again. Multiple definitions of Tetris Black. First to find here. Simple chair view. Tetris Matrix draw. Simple chart view. First to find here. Huh. What is going on there? Multiple definitions of Tetris green. How is there multiple definitions of Tetris green? Or any of the colors? It's only defined in here. I'm calling colors.h inside here. And then they're all called my black and my magenta. They're not called Tetris. I have no idea what's up with that. What if I don't initialize it? Does it work okay then? Like, this should be reusing something that's already defined. So why it's saying it's already defined, I do not know. Let me just try upload again. I presume it's not going to change anything, but yeah. First defined here. Simple char draw that INO.cpp. So this is defining it first. Why am I using this and not just past a reference with ampersand? I'm not sure. I'm copying examples that I've used and have worked for me before. Not the issue that I'm having here though, right? This is a definition issue. I really don't understand why. I guess the other one calls Tetris Matrix.h, and this one also calls no, that's okay. Does including I wonder why Twitch is so bad for you. Like it's perfect for me. Anyways, like if I go back and watch a VOD or whatever, it's perfect. Or even if I look at it in the preview window of Twitch while I'm streaming, it's perfect. So yeah, no love for the oceanic servers, I guess. Does including the same file make a difference? Is it this here? Hey, I'm Macron, thanks for the follow. I feel very follow worthy at the moment. But the hash include Tetris Matrix.h there. Oh, let's just there. Done. Now let's see, does that work? Yeah, that's funny because like yeah, it's 100% here anyways. I've never had issues like even watching other people's streams. They just hate Australia for some reason. Okay. Please don't give out about Tetris colors anymore. You're joking me. How? How is that possible? It's I don't understand. is that possible? Do I still have colors being used somewhere? Let me just delete this colors one. Move to recycle bin. That's what I think about you, colors. Let's try again, I guess. Grr. Do I have a mistake with this? If not defined, Tetris Matrix draw underscore H. Including Tetris Matrix draw in the file I don't think I'm doing that. I do it in the CPP file, but I'm pretty sure you're meant to do that. Can make them all private variables. No, me too. Let's just make them private variables. This is a joke, but well, I should make them public variables at least. But a joke nonetheless that I'm doing it this way. But so now this would become this. Is it that? I guess it must be, right? Let's search for Tetris. Grab all them, do that. Looks great. Let's try that again. Copy. Replace. Now build. Now do something, please. Don't complain about multiple definitions. Woo! I really need to figure out what was wrong with that though. Okay, cool. That did pretty much nothing other than compiled, but that's better than nothing, I guess. Right, I guess that gives me a new problem. I'm gonna run into the exact same issue with numbers.h, I would say, with these num states. But we'll see. Yeah, compiled, let's end the stream. Yeah, I am pretty tired, so I probably should, but I would really like to get... Yeah, I have a good bit left to do, actually, so I should just end the stream here, I think. So, like, I have to get the numbers into the library. That's, like, this is the definition of the numbers, that, like, a 0 should have the following pieces. Are they defined in drawing? Yeah. So like if block type is type 0, draw this, you know. So I have a good bit left to do, so I should just finish it off here. Yep. Let's call it at that. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll come back to this some other time, but keep an eye out. I do want to finish this and make it into a library to make some pretty nice stuff with it. Let's finish it off by actually just drawing the way that Tobias meant for us to watch this and working, basically. So let's upload the actual Tetris clock for one last time. But yeah, again, thanks for Thanks for joining, everybody. Yeah, should have a new Raspberry Pi video out this week. I had one finished and uploaded, and I was looking at it today, and I'm not super happy with it. It's majority of it's fine, but it needs a little tweaking. I think probably not my best work. So, yeah, might make a couple of changes to it, but yeah, that should be out this week. Other than that, I'm not sure what I'm up to next. Definitely going to use my solder oven. I did that for the first time yesterday, so I'm actually going to make a kit at some stage. Better do that on stream, or else what's the point? You're not doing it if you're not doing it. If you're not doing it on stream. Thanks for the follow, Babint42. So yeah, here is what this looks like when it's working properly. But yeah, the goal is to get that out of its own sketch and into a library so we can use it for other stuff too. So yeah, that is the story with that. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining, everybody. I'll see you again next week. Next stream is Saturday morning at 8 o'clock Irish time. So see you there if you're up. Okay, bye bye.